there are many theories of international trade. All these theories try to explain two important aspects: what determines the pattern of trade and who gains from trade. First, let us examine classical theories of international trade. There are two versions to the classical theory of international trade. First is trade based on absolute advantage, or simply this is known as absolute advantage theory. This was developed by Adam Smith. And second is the comparative advantage theory, which was developed by another classical economist, David Ricardo. First of all, let us examine absolute advantage theory. Let us assume that there are only two nations. Let A and B be the two nations, and also assume that there are only two commodities, X and Y. Here it is very important to remember that we are considering only one factor of production, that is labor. In classical theories of international trade, we consider only labor. We do not consider capital, because classical theory is based on labor theory of value, where we assume that labor is the sole source of value. Let us use a hypothetical example to illustrate absolute advantage theory. Let us assume that there are only two countries. Let A and B be the two countries, and we consider the case of only two commodities, X and Y. So as shown in the table, we can see that for producing commodity X, nation A requires 10 units of labor and nation B requires 20 units of labor. And for the production of commodity Y, nation A requires 20 units of labor and nation B requires 10 units of labor. So for the production of X, we can see that while country A requires 10 units of labor, B requires 20 units of labor. That means A is more efficient in the production of commodity X. That is, A requires only 10 units of labor. So we can see that A has an absolute advantage in the production of commodity X, and at the same time B has an absolute advantage. That is, B is more efficient in the production of Y. So from the table we can see that A is more efficient in the production of commodity X because it has an absolute advantage in the production of commodity X, and B has an absolute advantage in the production of Y. So according to Adam Smith, nation A has an absolute advantage in the production of commodity X and B has an absolute advantage in the production of commodity Y. So nation A can specialize in the production of commodity X and nation B can specialize in the production of commodity Y, and they can exchange their commodities at the international market. So absolute advantage theory says that when one nation has an absolute advantage over the other in the production of one commodity but has an absolute disadvantage over the other nation in producing the second commodity, then both nations can gain by specializing in the production of the commodity of its absolute advantage and exchanging part of the output with the other nation for the commodity of its absolute disadvantage. So according to absolute advantage theory, both nations gain by specialization in production and exchange. So according to Adam Smith, it is mutually beneficial for both the trading partners to engage in international trade. So here it is very important to understand the historical background in which classical writers wrote their theories. Before the emergence of classical school of thought, the prevailing economic doctrine was mercantilism, and according to mercantilism, mercantilism was highly nationalistic in nature, and according to mercantilists, nations can grow rich by acquiring more and more precious metals. So they favored exports because exports brought in gold, and they were against imports because when a country imports something, the country has to give precious metals like gold and silver in return. So they supported exports and they were against imports. However, classical writers, particularly Adam Smith, found that trade is not a zero-sum game. Both the nations can gain from trade, both exporting country and importing country can gain from trade through specialization and exchange. Now let us examine comparative advantage theory developed by Ricardo. This is also known as theory of comparative cost, and this is one of the oldest and still unchallenged theories of economics. And as you all know, Ricardo published his Principles of Political Economy and Taxation in 1817, and here we are using Ricardo's own model, the hypothetical example used by Ricardo to explain comparative advantage theory. Ricardo considered the case of two nations, Portugal and England, and he considered the case of two commodities, wine and cloth. So as given in the hypothetical example, Portugal requires 80 units of labor to produce 1 unit of wine, while it requires 90 units of labor to produce 1 unit of cloth. At the same time, England requires 120 units of labor to produce 1 unit of wine and 100 units of labor to produce 1 unit of cloth. So, from the example, we can see that Portugal has an absolute advantage in the production of both commodities, both wine and cloth, because it requires less units of labor for producing both wine and cloth. So we cannot explain international trade with the help of absolute advantage theory developed by Adam Smith in this context, because Portugal has an absolute advantage over both lines of production. According to Ricardo, mutually beneficial international trade is possible even in such a situation. So here you can see that as compared to England, Portugal has an absolute advantage in the production of wine. It requires only 80 units of labor for producing 1 unit of wine, while England requires 120 units of labor. As far as cloth is considered, here also Portugal has an absolute advantage. It requires only 90 units of labor, but England can produce 1 unit of cloth by spending 10 additional units of labor. So even though England has absolute disadvantage in the production of both wine and cloth, the degree of absolute disadvantage is different. In the case of cloth, absolute disadvantage is lesser because for producing 1 unit of cloth, while England requires 100 units, Portugal requires 90 units. So the absolute disadvantage is lesser for England in the production of cloth. According to Ricardo, England has a comparative advantage in the production of cloth because the degree of absolute disadvantage is lower in the case of cloth. So in this example, according to Ricardo, Portugal has a comparative advantage in the production of wine and England has a comparative advantage in the production of cloth. So according to Ricardo, for having mutually beneficial trade, absolute advantage is not required, only comparative advantage is required. So according to comparative advantage theory, each nation should specialize in the production and export of the commodity in which its absolute disadvantage is smaller. That is, this is the commodity of its comparative advantage, and they have to import the commodity in which its absolute disadvantage is great. Now let us explain gains from trade. First let us consider autarky situation. Autarky refers to a situation where nations are producing and consuming in isolation from the rest of the world. That is, under conditions of autarky, there is no international trade. Uh, Let us once again look at the example here. Under autarky situation, for producing and consuming 1 unit of wine and 1 unit of cloth, Portugal requires 80 units of labor plus 90 units. In total, Portugal requires 170 units of labor. However, if Portugal is focusing or Portugal is specializing in the production of wine alone, by using only 160 units of labor, Portugal can produce 2 units of wine. Similarly, England, if England is producing and consuming in isolation from the rest of the world, it has to use 120 units of wine for producing 1 unit of wine and 100 units of 100 units of labor to produce 1 unit of clothes. So in total, England has to spend 220 units of labor for producing and consuming 1 unit of wine and 1 unit of cloth. However, if England specializes in the production of cloth by spending only 200 units of labor, England can produce 2 units of cloth. Then both Portugal and England can exchange the commodities at the international market. Then with international trade, Portugal can save 10 units of labor. It can consume 1 unit of labor, 1 unit of wine and 1 unit of cloth by spending only 160 units of labor. Similarly, England can save 20 units of labor because by spending only 200 units of labor, it can consume 1 unit of wine and 1 unit of cloth in the presence of specialization and exchange. That is, with the international trade, both nations can save labor units. So it is beneficial for both England and Portugal. These are the important assumptions of Ricardian model. Ricardian model also assumes that there are only two nations and only two commodities. It is also based on free trade, and it also assumes that there is perfect mobility of labor within each nation, but factors of labor is immobile between two nations. There are constant costs of production. There is no transportation cost. There is no technological change. It's also based on labor theory of value. Now let us examine comparative advantage in terms of opportunity cost. It was Haberler who explained comparative advantage on the basis of opportunity cost. It was in 1936 that Haberler introduced the opportunity cost theory. According to opportunity cost theory, the cost of a commodity is the amount of the second commodity that must be given up to produce an additional unit of the first commodity. We know that resources are scarce. We cannot use resources for producing the same resource for producing both the commodities. Once we use certain amount of resources for producing one particular commodity, we are giving up the production of another commodity while releasing resources for the production of the other commodity. That means we could have used those resources for producing another commodity. We are foregoing the production of a given commodity, and we are choosing to produce another commodity. So opportunity cost of production of one particular commodity is the amount of the second commodity that has been given up to produce an additional unit of the first commodity. So according to Haberler, a nation with the lower opportunity cost in the production of a commodity has a comparative advantage in the production of that commodity. So let us use the previous example to illustrate the illustrate opportunity cost of production. In our previous example, uh, Portugal required 80 units of labor to produce 1 unit of wine, while it required 90 units of labor to produce 1 unit of cloth. So, when Portugal produces 1 unit of wine, the opportunity cost of production is actually 0.89 units of cloth. But when it spends 80 units of labor for producing 1 unit of wine, it is foregoing the production of 0.89 units of cloth. Similarly, when Portugal produces 1 unit of cloth, the opportunity cost of production is 1.13 units of wine. Similarly, when England produces 1 unit of wine, it is giving up the production of 1.2 units of cloth. So opportunity cost of producing 1 unit of wine for England is 1.2 units, and for England opportunity cost of producing 1 unit of cloth is 0.83 units of wine. So as far as the production of wine is considered, we can see that Portugal has lower opportunity cost of production. In the case of cloth, England has lower opportunity cost of production. So, Portugal has a comparative advantage because of lower opportunity cost of production in the case of wine, and England has a comparative advantage in the production of cloth because its opportunity cost is lower. So, Portugal has lower opportunity cost in the production of wine. So, Portugal has a comparative advantage in the production of wine. England has lower opportunity cost in the production of cloth, so it has a comparative advantage in the production of cloth. So as long as the two countries differ in opportunity cost for production of goods, mutually beneficial, trade is possible. So according to comparative advantage theory, each nation has to specialize in the production of the commodity of its comparative advantage. Through specialization and exchange, mutually beneficial trade is possible.